As we progress on our spiritual journey, we quickly realize how important it is for us to control our thoughts, to choose our thoughts wisely. My question for you today is, and be honest with yourself, how long can you hang on to a positive, uplifting, and peaceful state of mind? Have you ever even tried to keep your mind focused on something good for an extended period of time? Without some training, it can be quite difficult for most of us. Hi, my name is Aaron, and I welcome you to Awareness Healing Tools. Do you ever think about how your mind is constantly bringing you things to think about? It never stops. Now think about how many of the thoughts are things that you are consciously choosing to dwell upon. How many of the thoughts are things that you would prefer to never think upon? Most of us, up until we have an awakening, are just living our lives, reacting to everything that happens to us, or reacting to how we perceive the world to be. Up until the moment we realize that our thoughts are very powerful and they affect everything that happens in our life, most of us probably never gave any thought to choosing our thoughts, much less choosing them wisely. Up until the moment we realize the power of our thoughts, many of us find ourselves in a constant cycle of negative thinking. Some negative thoughts might include things like, I can't do anything right. I'm such a failure. No one would notice if I just disappeared. Something bad always happens. I'm a loser who will never amount to anything. I can't even clean my house. I must be completely useless. No one wants to hear my opinion. I'm worthless and I'm unlovable. If you find yourself saying these things or things like them, the time to break these negative thought cycles is right now. There might be times when we are reliving negative situations from the past over and over again. And this way of thinking negatively here in the present moment always leads us to projecting these negative thoughts into the future. If we are giving our emotions and our attention to negative things over and over again, we are telling our subconscious that we want to have these experiences over and over again. And sure enough, these thoughts will continue to come around over and over again. For some, it could be that your friends, peers, and quite often people that were authority figures in your life mocked you or told you that you were being foolish whenever you tried to be genuine or tried to truly express yourself. Then there are those negative things that people have said about us, to us, or negative experiences that we've had, but we do not consciously remember. But they're buried deep within us, and they're affecting every decision we make to this very present moment. For some, while facing this constant negativity, it might seem like an impossibility to be able to ever have a peaceful, calm thought, much less hang on to one. All right, so I have another question for you. How long can you hold on to a pure thought? I know there are many of you out there who are dealing with constant lustful thoughts. This modern generation was the first to have pornography and sexual content pouring right into our homes on demand with no restrictions. And this type of material is very destructive to those who are exploited in the videos and pictures. It's destructive to the individuals watching it or to those who are exposed to it. It's destructive to families and to the society that allows this. Nothing loving, kind, or good comes from watching pornography, or from constantly thinking about sex in an unhealthy way, or from viewing others as sexual objects. So you might be someone who now has a desire to rid yourself of these negative thoughts, but because you have been programmed so deeply by these perverse thoughts and images, because they are connected to great physical pleasure, you are finding the task to be quite difficult. Perhaps you find yourself in a cycle of addiction to food or drugs. You may have found at some point in your life that food, alcohol, and other substances brought you great pleasure, especially whenever you're feeling pain or going through some great suffering. But now, those substances are causing you nothing but pain and suffering. So you find yourself in a constant cycle of negativity, guilt, and shame. You have negative thoughts and feelings, so you use the food, the porn, the drugs to make yourself feel better, and to not have to think about your problems. But all these things have now put you in an unhealthy state of being. You find yourself overweight, underweight, physically unhealthy, mentally, physically, and spiritually sick all the time. And all you can think about is using those substances to make yourself feel better, even if it's only for a fleeting moment. Any of us can find ourselves in these cycles, feeling like there's no way out in sight. But I'm here to tell you that there is another way. You don't have to stay in these negative thought cycles forever. There is freedom from the suffering. The thing is that in order to break these negative cycles, we must be willing to change everything in our life in order to find freedom. And this is the part that sounds really difficult whenever we feel buried under the weight of negativity, fear, guilt, pain, and shame here in the moment. Because whenever we are in these cycles, we feel like there's no way out. But this is a lie. You have the power at any moment that you are willing to change your entire life by changing your thought cycles. You must make a decision. You must be willing to let your old self go and let go of the old way of doing things. Your past mistakes or the words and actions of other people that have been implanted in your mind do not get to determine what you choose to do with your life from this moment forward. Sometimes we have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired before we're ready to make some changes. And we might find ourselves sick and tired of reliving our past mistakes and decide that we want to find a better way of doing everything. At this point on your journey, you might want to start saying something to yourself like, I am ready for something new and wonderful, and I am willing to change whatever is necessary to become something new and wonderful. Say that to yourself right now and really feel it as you think about it. I am ready for something new and wonderful, and I am willing to change whatever is necessary to become something new and wonderful. In order to change negative patterns in our life, we must first acknowledge that changes need to be made and that we are willing to move in a new direction. We have to intentionally reprogram our mind with new thoughts, new ideas, new ways of feeling, and new ways of seeing ourselves and the world around us. One great way to begin reprogramming our mind is with affirmations. And I have a video called I Love Affirmations. And after you finish this video, I encourage you to go watch it. Saying these I love affirmations to yourself daily and then meditating upon the affirmations can be a very valuable tool for many people in transforming your thinking process and opening up your life to a kinder, new way of thinking about yourself. I'll put a link to that video in the description of this video. At one point in the past in my life, when I was at my lowest, at least the lowest I ever want to be again, I thought there was no way out other than death. And death was hanging out on my doorstep every single day. I started looking forward to my death, and I even started planning it. My life was in complete chaos, mentally, financially, emotionally, and spiritually. And even though I hated almost everything about my existence at that point, it felt completely normal to me. I had no idea that there was another way of existing. I didn't know that there was freedom from the constant negative cycles that were ruling my life. At that point in my life, I didn't know that I had the power to change my thoughts and thus change my life. I, like many of you perhaps, have been told the lie ever since I was born that I was a worthless sinner who deserved death and punishment for being born. I was told that there was no good in me and that I needed an outside source to come rescue me. I was taught that I was born such a wicked person that someone who was perfect in every way had to come be a blood sacrifice, be beaten and tormented on my behalf, because I was so evil and I was the one who actually deserved it. And even after having this blood sacrifice ritual done on my behalf, I was still only a worthless sinner saved by grace. And for many years, I felt totally helpless, powerless, and useless. And this led to many years of me spending my life self-medicating to cover up the pain and the feelings of worthlessness. And on top of all this was the torment and psychological abuse that I had experienced while living among these so-called sinners saved by grace in all the churches that I was forced to be around during my formative years. And in case you didn't know, many of these people in churches are the most hateful, evil people you could ever imagine. But whenever I questioned this worldview, I was told that I didn't have enough faith and that I was listening to the devil. And I learned and knew very well that if God didn't love me unconditionally, then my parents who worshiped this God did not and could not love me unconditionally either. Because it is impossible to both love someone unconditionally and desire to torment them eternally because they won't go along with your plans. I was never taught the power of my own thoughts. So I just believed all the things that I was told and all the things that were said about me, mostly just because I was too young and naive to know any better. But unfortunately, I let these negative thoughts rule my life until I got to be around the age of 37 or 38. But maybe you're even older than this and you're still under the spell of this type of trauma-based mind control. Maybe you weren't raised in a fundamentalist religious household like me and many others, but maybe you were raised in a similar narcissistic environment where those who are supposed to love you unconditionally do nothing but gaslight you, invalidate you, and some may even verbally, physically, and emotionally abuse you every time you question the narrative or try to assert your free will. When we are raised in negative environments or we're exposed to them for very long periods of time, we start to carry around this negativity like a big, thick, heavy winter coat. And we start to believe that no matter how sweaty and nasty we might feel, that this is just the way things are and the way they're always going to be. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to carry around these negative thoughts with you any longer. You have the power to break any of the cycles that you choose, no matter how long these cycles have been active. And many of these negative cycles are generational and are passed on, much like psychotic fundamentalist religious and political beliefs. One generation gets abused, and then they pass it along to the next generation. But no matter how long the cycle has been going on, you have the power to break it. I believe that just as I have been awakened to the eternal power within me, that many others are awakening to this power within them. And perhaps you are one of these people. Are you someone who has started to see this realm of existence for what it is, and you're ready to do whatever work is necessary so that you don't have to come back to this particular state of being ever again? You may have become sick and tired of doing things the way everyone around you have always done them. Perhaps you see the generational cycles that have been passed on to you, and you're ready to break them. Maybe you're tired of eating unhealthy food. You might be ready to quit sticking negative entertainment in your mind, and I believe you know what I'm talking about, all those movies and all the music that has no higher value that you constantly allow into your mind. You might be ready to break the cycles of drugs, alcohol, pornography, and pharmaceuticals. If you are this person, I tell you that you have the power to become anything good that you set your mind upon. The realization that you want to be something better, that you want to be someone better, is the first step to becoming something greater. Over the years, I've come to learn that it is very important to constantly fill my mind with thoughts of the highest good. We are constantly being bombarded with negativity from our family members, our co-workers, the television, the news, and all these black screens that we carry with us everywhere that we go. The politicians thrive on keeping everyone at odds with one another, always lying about and attacking those who disagree, even murdering and genociding people. Then there are the religious leaders, the so-called ministers of the good news, who constantly speak lies and curses over everyone in their assemblies. The negativity is almost never ending. But there is one place that you can go to stop this, and that place is within your own life. You have the power to choose to separate yourself from this evil and no longer allow it to rule your thoughts and your life. You have the power to choose to start thinking positively. You can choose to start encouraging yourself. You have the power to uplift yourself and move into a calm and peaceful state of mind. But it isn't easy at first, and because of this, everyone will not succeed. At first, it takes constant meditation upon this new life that you want to experience. It takes speaking positive thoughts to yourself day and night to break the negative cycles. It takes self-control and introspection to decide who you truly are after all the years of just going through the motions, living unconsciously like the majority of those around us. We have to intentionally, consciously choose to hang on to a positive, uplifting, and a peaceful state of mind. It will not just happen for us. We have to open up the doors of our lives to new possibilities, and then we have to walk through those doors. Are you ready to start living with a positive, uplifting, and peaceful state of mind? Are you ready to step forward and break the generational curses and negative cycles that are hanging over you and ruling your life? If you find yourself ready to open up the doors of your life to new possibilities, if you're ready to start breaking negative thought cycles, the time to do so is right now. You must choose to think thoughts that are for your highest good, and then start moving to bring those thoughts into reality. You must decide to become something new and different. You must awaken the eternal consciousness that is resting within you. If you find yourself ready to commit to a positive new life, you find yourself ready to break the generational curses that have been hovering over your family and your community, but you're not sure what to do next, I'm here to offer you some tools that have been very effective in helping me to break the negative cycles in my life. A really powerful tool that I use is Elemental Awareness Tarot. And this is a tarot reading style designed with the purpose of helping you to realize your full potential and to tap into your higher, eternal self. And I don't use tarot like a psychic to tell someone's future, but rather as a powerful psychological tool that is used for assisting you in deciding what you want your future to be. And I always recommend getting a reading to anyone who is looking for guidance and who might need some assistance in finding that guiding light within themselves. Sometimes in dark moments, we need a guide to help us see the light. And that's what Elemental Awareness Tarot is all about. A tarot reading from me is something that can start helping you immediately. If having a reading is something that you need, you can book a session with me for $25. And you can think of that $25 as an investment in yourself. These readings can be very powerful and life-changing for many people. If having a tarot reading is something that has piqued your interest and you have some questions about it, or you would like to schedule a reading, you can contact me at awarenesshealingtools@gmail.com. A second tool and service that I have to offer is Reiki energy therapy. Reiki is an amazing tool that brings the healing power of universal life force energy and unconditional love into our lives. Having a Reiki session can be a great way to find relief from stress, negative thinking, chronic pain, depression, and many other issues that you might be facing. Reiki is also very effective at helping us to release negative entities and energetic attachments, to face difficult emotional, physical, mental, and sexual traumas, all with the purpose of healing those wounds and protecting you from being open to them ever again. Reiki is an empowering way for you to play a role in your own healing journey. I'm able to do Reiki sessions both in person and at a distance, no matter where you happen to live. You can do a Reiki session with me right from the comfort of your own home. A Reiki session starts at $60, but if you have any questions about Reiki, you would like to have a free consultation, or you would like to book a session, you can contact me at awarenesshealingtools@gmail.com and we can start your healing journey today. A third tool that I have to offer is a class called Introduction to Breathwork for Beginners. And this is a month-long course where you will be taught multiple breathing exercises and will be given daily breathwork assignments that are designed to bring greater awareness and presence to your life. These exercises can help create the space you need to allow your true self to open up and shine. When we learn to control our breathing, we are learning to control our thoughts, our words, and our actions. Breathwork is a powerful transformational tool for anyone who is ready to break free from the shackles and chains of the past and who is willing to take steps forward in a new direction. The Breathwork class is an affordable $30, and this includes the lesson which teaches you how to do the breathing practices and the schedule for the month-long daily practices. This is a great step to take to bring some calm awareness and order to a chaotic life. To contact me with any questions you might have or to schedule a breathwork class, email me at awarenesshealingtools@gmail.com. It takes work to keep our lives in a state of balance and on a positive path, but the work is very rewarding. The confidence we gain by taking control of our thoughts, feelings, words, and actions is immeasurable. If you're ready to start the work needed to keep yourself in a positive, uplifted, and peaceful state of mind, and you are ready to take steps towards freedom, I encourage you to contact me for a tarot reading, a Reiki session, or for a breathwork class. You have the eternal power within you to change your life for the better. And here at Awareness Healing Tools, I'm always encouraging you to take the journey of self-discovery, healing, and spiritual development. May you find the peace that you need within. I bless you. Thank you for watching.